Cloé Pitiot. I'm curator of the Eileen Gray exhibition at the Irish Museum of Modern Art in Dublin, and I'm curator in the design department of the Museum of Modern Art in Paris, Centre Pompidou. In the story of art, Eileen Gray was seen like an iconic Art Deco decorator or very important modernist architect, but she is also, I think, a very important painter. She is a total artist, and this exhibition in Dublin would like to show this Eileen Gray like a painter, a designer, and an architect. She was born in Enniscorthy, just near Dublin, and she lived there with a family, an aristocratic family, and with a father painter. She traveled a lot with her father in Europe, in Italy, in France, in England, in Switzerland, so she was painting a lot from 5 years old maybe. She did his studies in London at the Slade School, and here she met a lot of English painters like Wyndham Lewis or Gerald Festus Kelly, and a sculptor, Kathleen Bruce, and with them she moved to Paris in 1902. She decided to move to Paris because it was more free than London. She could have another life with a lot of friends. She was close to Auguste Rodin, for example, to the occultist poet Aleister Crowley. She was close to Gertrude Stein too. She lived with a group of artists, and they decided together to enter in the Académie Julian and in the Académie Colarossi to learn drawings and paintings. In 1902, when she arrived in Paris, she exhibited watercolor at le Salon des Artistes Français in the Grand Palais. So she was really at this time a painter. And after, in 1905, she exhibited a new painting in this same Salon des Artistes Français. And just after this exhibition, she moved to London to see her mother, who was ill. And here she met Dean Charles, a very famous lacquer, and she learned the lacquer with him. And 1 year after, she decided to install in Paris. In 1906, she moved to Paris, and she stayed here for all of her life for exactly 70 years. In 1900, she was with her mother in Paris to see the Exposition Universelle, and here she met Seizo Sugawara, a very famous Japanese lacquer. So she decided to open a studio with him in 1910 in Paris, and for 20 years they will work together. At the same time, she was traveling in the Mountain Atlas with Evelyn Wild, a friend of her, and they learned the technique of the carpet. And just after that, they decided to open a second studio only for the carpets in Paris too. Carpets and lacquer was sold in her gallery Jean Désert that she opened in 1922 in Rue du Faubourg Saint-Honoré. This gallery was for lacquer, for carpets, for pieces of furniture, and at this time she develops interior design and some years after architecture. So Jean Désert could be seen like a transition between lacquer and modernism architecture. In fact, in 1923, she exhibited a very strange room in le Salon des Artistes Décorateurs, and the Dutch Style movement thought that she was a new genius, in fact. For this time, she was very close to the Dutch Style movement, and she met them by Jean Badovici, a Romanian architect and urbanist. With Jean Badovici, they built the house E1027 in the south of the France, in Roquebrune, Cap Martin. This house is a manifest of the modernity, but a very sensible modernity. Eileen Gray wasn't like Le Corbusier, for example, who spoke about the architecture like a machine for a human, but with Eileen Gray, the architecture and the pieces of furniture are here to be for the human, in fact, with a lot of sensibility, of with a lot of generosity. After the villa in 1027, she decided to build her own house in Menton, in the south of the France, in Tempe-Apaya. The second house of Eileen Gray, Tempe-Apaya, is like a prototype house with a lot of pieces of furniture. And this prototype of furniture are, for example, one piece with 3 or 4 functions. And the pieces of furniture are extensible. They could go outside, inside, and with this house she explored more how to live in a house with all these pieces of furniture. After the Second World War II, Eileen Gray came back to her house Tempe-Apaya, but it was entirely destroyed, so she decided to rebuild this house, and after that she sold it to the painter Graham Sutherland. So she was very close to other painters like Prunella Clough, her niece, the famous painter, and for 20 years maybe they paint together, and they write a lot of letters on the paintings, and you could see in this exhibition you can see a lot of paintings of Eileen Gray, and it's like the secret life of Eileen Gray, but I think it's very important to understand what is her work, in fact, architecture or lacquer or carpets, because she was still a painter, and after a designer, and after an architect, but not only a designer or architect like we thought, in fact. She lived in Paris to the end of life, and she was still doing a lot of architecture project, unbuilt, but a lot, and a lot of project of pieces of furniture. And for example, when she was 95 years old, she decided to build a screen in cork, and we can see it at the end of the exhibition. In fact, she never stopped to create. Creation was her life, and from 5 years old to 98 years old, she created a lot of things, paintings and pieces of furniture, architecture, photographs too. She was really a total creator. In this exhibition, you will see first the lacquer period of Eileen Gray, with most famous pieces like the Siren armchair, or very beautiful screens, the block screen and the 6-panel screens. And after, there is a room on the modernity with the curved sofa, and the story between Eileen Gray and the Romanian architect Jean Badovici. After, we have decided to have a room on the carpets in Jean Désert Gallery, with a lot of gouache of carpets, and some carpets in wool or carpets in felt. And a big section is on the Villa E1027 with 15 pieces of furniture, armchair, toiletry screen, cork table, transat, adjustable table. So you could see with these pieces of furniture how was the organization of the villa. And after, we have room on Tempe-Apaya, the villa of Eileen Gray, with a lot of drawings and her model and pieces of furniture. And we have a little room, very nice, with a beautiful celluloid screen. And this one was in Louperon, the last house of Eileen Gray. At the end of the exhibition, you could find the beautiful cork screen that she realized when she was 95 years old.